Today I will discuss about vegetative reproduction, vegetative propagation. Vegetative reproduction is also called vegetative propagation. The production of new plants from different vegetative parts of the plant body, such as roots, shoot, bulb, leaves, tuber, etc., is called vegetative propagation. I think, do you understand about vegetative reproduction? It is two types: naturally method of vegetative propagation and artificial method of vegetative propagation. It is very good. Uh, it has a vast importance in human being. Vegetative reproduction. Naturally, some plants naturally reproduces vegetatively, or some may be artificially man-made vegetative propagation. First, I will see natural method of vegetative propagation. What is natural method of vegetative propagation? Just I want to see here. Plant propagate naturally through root, underground stem, creeping stem, aerial stem, leaves, and some natural method of vegetative propagation are as follows. Plants body stem, creeping stems, which are going on horizontally on the earth, aerial stem, which are vertically from the earth, leaves. These are the part which may be vegetatively propagate by naturally. Rhizome, in which I would like to say first rhizome. Rhizome is a underground stem. Underground stem is called rhizome. For the example, zinger, that grows horizontally through soil. Its thick and fleshy sense store reserve food material. Nodes and internodes, scaly leaf, axillary buds, terminal buds, adventitious root. The axillary buds later grow into aerial shoots. Example है. देखिए, these are the buds of zinger. Nodes in between nodes is called internodes, and axillary buds. These axillary buds are produce aerial shoots, later grow into aerial shoots, and makes a new plant. Next है corn. What is corn? Corn is a short stem, swollen with store food. Swollen, short stem, swollen due to food reservation, food reserved. Then it is swollen. The corn separate from each other and form a new. This is corn, and a new plant will grow. This bud, here is bud, and this bud is grow in a new plant. For the example, gladiolus. Next है tuber. Tuber is a underground stem that is swollen with a supply of stored food. Stem tuber have several small buds called eyes. Just we can see in potato is daily used in vegetable, in our kitchen. Just you see the on upper, when you take in hand a potato, you can easily see the eye, that is a bud, and this bud is grow into a plant, into a new plant, into shoot, new shoot, develop their tuber, then developed again tuber, then next step valve. It is vertically in direction and it is terminal buds give rise to these floral shoots. Axillary buds that may be produced in axis of fleshy scales grow into aerial shoots under favorable conditions. Onion you can see the, for the example, onion is if you see auxiliary word, ये auxiliary word होता है, auxiliary ये बर्ड होगा और इसके ऊपर से फ्लैशी लीफ, ये फ्लैशी लीफ होता है और इस प्रकार से जो है यहाँ पर fleshy leaf covered the axillary buds. When favorable condition will come, then this axillary bud is grow into new plant. Next, vegetative reproduction by leaves. Bryophyllum. In some plants, a new plant arises at the margins of their leaves in the form of bud. Each buds on separate give rise to a new plant. Bryophyllum, you can see bryophyllum, the margin of the leaves which have some buds, and these buds are grow a new plant. And this new plant and a new plant. So such type of जो है such type of vegetatively reproduce the plant, such type of called by leaves, vegetative reproduction by leaves. Then vegetative by roots. In plants like sweet potato, tuberous roots give rise to a adventitious buds, and then new plant arises from its adventitious buds. In sweet potato, adventitious buds are found that will produce a new plant, and such type of propagation is called vegetative propagation by roots. Vegetative propagation by creeping stems, the stems which are going through earth, soil. The stem which creeps on soil and also on the water surface is called creeping stem. The soil creeps on soils and are also on the water surface is called creeping stems. Three types: runner, oxalis, stolen, strawberry, offset, ecornia. Runner oxalis, it means you can see oxalis like this is soil, root, stem. horizontally grow horizontally with the soil. A stolen strawberry up to the soil strawberry and then offset acarina एकोर्निया जो है वाटर stolen acarina water and buds one stem one plant and other plant both are add with the stolen that was swollen full of the air and float in water. That is called offset acarina and then propagate next one again like this. These are the methods propagates the stems, creeping stems, either water or swell, horizontally water, vertically swell. These are the next artificial methods is most important methods, that is very important for always used to produce a new variety of plants. The horticulture is main subject of agriculture, which are mostly such process are utilized for the propagate the plants. It is the method developed by man to develop horticultural and commercial production of crops. It is a type where may plant are propagated at a very fast rate. The major artificial methods are cutting, grafting, layering, and tissue culture. These are the method by which propagates artificially the plants. First is cutting. What is cutting? In this method, a piece of substitute stem length is taken from the mother plant and then cut having nodes into nodes. It is placed moist soil, root emerge and waste portions and but gives rise to the two shoots. For example, rose and this is a other rose and other plants which I want to show for the cutting, propagate by the cutting. This is a plant, I think money plant. It cut and देखिए choose healthy parent plant. Then step, fill pot with the soil. Choose again non-woody stems. Just cut below the node and slice through the leaves to leaves and then apply root hormones and make plant whole and plant cut cover with plastic, then monitor. A cutting up. It is a not fixed soil and grow roots and bud. A cutting up, removing portion of stems, fixing in the soil, allow to grow the root and buds. Those such type of steps which are used for the cutting, and this may apply for the rose plant also. It is another plants which are which I give you a figure through, so the different steps by which you can cutting propagation will be have been used. Layering. Next method is layering. Layering is the development of roots on a stem while the still attached to the parent. A layer is called to the stem branch and develop the adventitious root and while still attached to the parent plants. Jasmine. In this example, you can say this is jasmine plant. A plant. This is a plant, and their soft branch were put into the soil and pressed with the soil, covered with the soil. After some time, after some days, the covered soil, under the covered soil, the plant grow roots, adventitious roots, and then cut before roots and come to grow in new plants. Grafting, the most important. Grafting, most important method of propagation used by man. Two different parts are plants are joined to so grow into the single plants. Grafting is done between closely related dicotyledons plants having vascular cambium. The rooted support portion of one plant is called stalk, and other supporting stems plant is called season. These two portions called season are joined together to form single plants with select desired characteristic from both plants. This season of high quality rose is grafted on wild rose root stock. Just you see grafting how it will be do. The main plant in the pot and cut like this fashion, and another plant which I want to graft, then this plant is called stalk, and which other plant that section were come to on this stalk is called season, and then both are set and bind. Then grafting in the below first figure and next root stock and season and the plants cutting, then both are set down and wrapped. After some times they grow roots and develop a new plant. Next most important tissue culture is tissue culture. Tissue culture is a method propagation of plants by cutting cell tissue organs. This method is known as micropropagation. Culturing of the cell tissue organ result of the formation of under differentiate mass of cells called calyx, with latter differentiates to produce many planets, and these planets are given transferred to the separate pots and nursery bed to obtain plants. Just you see in the a fresh plant, their roots or shoots, whatever you want to, the tissue and cells are cut and put on the pot for the calyx formation. This pot have nutrients plus अगर first make solution, then sterilize, and then solidify solid, it will make solid, and it is ready for calyx formation. Nutrients में माइक्रो प्लस माइक्रो न्यूट्रिशंस होते हैं. मेक सॉल्यूशंस एंड विथ अगर and then sterilize and then put for some times for solidified and forms जो है this culture pot for the calyx formation, and then it grow planets and transfer of planets a pot, and such type of nursery beds to obtain. The planets are then transferred to the separate pots and nursery beds to obtain plants, whatever you want. Next, advantage of asexual reproduction. What is advantage of asexual reproduction? A single parent is required for the asexual reproduction. Single parent is requires less energy to produce. Each offspring is genetically copy of the parents, identical of parents, less like to become extinct as all organisms are capable of reproduce. A rapid population is seen. There are proper environmental condition. If environmental condition is favorable, then it will go massive, rapidly populated, grow by this process. Asexual reproduction is completed much faster than sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is the plants raised by vegetative propagation, bear, flower, fruits, either, and produce from. And seedless plants can be also be produced by vegetative propagation. This is the advantage which I can do easily asexually or vegetatively propagate to receive a massive production. Advantages of asexual reproduction. Disadvantages of asexual reproduction. The disadvantages of asexual reproduction are as it does not lead to genetic variation. It does not lead genetic variation in a population. An organism born through asexual reproduction only has DNA from one parent. The disease is likely to affect the whole population as there is no genetic variation. This is the drawback of asexual reproduction. And the production of vegetatively propagate plants cannot be stored for long. These are the points which are disadvantages, which are disadvantages of the asexual reproduction. And due to absence of variation, asexually reproduced organisms cannot be adapt themselves to change in the environments. These are the disadvantages of asexual reproduction. Students, please read, repeat again and again to see the points. I think if any points which are not which are not understood by you, please consult on my channels.